Hiya! Welcome to what will definitely turn out to be a very messy video. I just got an order delivered from Art, and I just wanted to share with you what I got and kind of try and test it out with you. I got a few fun new things I haven't tried before. I don't know if I should reveal it yet. You probably will see it in the picture, like thumbnail and description, but I'll just get started. It won't be very planned. I'll just go through it as if I was like trying things out for the first time. Hopefully it will be shorter than last, because last two videos took me 2 hours, like 2 hours of footage. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble already, so let's get started. So these are my two favorite fountain pens, and they're here for a reason. Let me just correct this. Okay. By the way, the washi tape you see here is my washi tape, so it's the one I designed. I just always like have it around, and I always have scraps of it. Okay, so I don't know what to start with. Let's start with this baby. I'll move this aside for a minute. We'll be using it later. So I got a Lamy Joy fountain pen. And I don't know too much about fountain pens, and I just really wanted to give them a go. Like, I only have a couple. I have three. I have two Twisby Goes, which are great. I really love the thin, the wide one. And I think this one's a medium or something like that. But they're great. They're very juicy. And I really wanted the stab nibs and just give fountain pens a go. And it was I received a very generous gift card to Art, and I decided to spend some of it on pens. So yeah, this one's Lamy. I don't quite know. Yeah, it does say to remove on this one. It's a stab nib, so it's quite wide, and that's what I like about fountain pens, because those nibs are really juicy, so they are very satisfying to draw with. I kind of use them as, like, sometimes writing with them just makes me feel better. Even if it's not, like, they're great for art as well, but also have added benefit of being great for your mental health. Okay. Not related, but kind of exciting and fun is this grey Tombow. I just saw Katie Moody recommend this one for drawing sky, and I kind of use really light colored blue, like very light blue pencils and like a greyish pencil, so I thought this would be amazing to give that a go. Grey might not be the most exciting, and I've been kind of putting it off for a long time to buy a grey one, but I think this would be useful and actually quite exciting. Also of the brand Lamy, is it Lamy? Came this package, which is a bit strange because it's like a double box, but is it like an outer box? Maybe they were trying to protect it or something. I'm not quite sure, but it looks like an external box for this package. Yeah, it's kind of quirky. I like that. But the pen is in this box. So this box is empty, so that's why I think it's like where you store this pen. It's also got this like clip, and it's, oh, I should have probably, wait. It's black and the nib size is 1.5. And then this one is purple, maybe burgundy purple, in size M. So this one will be slightly smaller nib. I went for the biggest possible, but this one's like a rounded nib. I think that's what they're called. But that's not it. That's not the end. I think I'll go for something different next. So I have this like a bundle here. So I've recently, well, obviously fountain pens, but I've also been into inks, and I kind of have some more exciting inks, like more pricey inks to show you in a second. But I also love Diamine. As you probably saw in my last video, I love painting with Diamine, and they're great for fountain pens. Like these three are fountain pen friendly. I did loads of research to try and find like the colors I really liked. So this is like a pinkish, like coral one, and they're very inexpensive. So for the price of these three, I could have gotten like half a bottle of another ink. So yeah, that's why I love them so much, because you can just get a small bottle and enjoy it. These two I got specifically for painting, like skies and things like that, but also like for writing, I think they will be quite good. So I watched lots of videos on YouTube, and just tried to see what I liked, which colors, and I picked those. Okay, I also got this Kaweco. I guess if it's German, then what? I can't remember how to pronounce German W. Japanese would be Kaweco, probably. Okay, never mind. So this one's Kaweco Sport, and I picked this color because it's just nice and bright. I tend to go for like navy, indigo, like dark black, grays, I don't know, pinks, but I quite like this one. So anyway, I'm getting rambly again. So this one's like a pocket pen that you can then expand and have a almost full-sized pen. So comparing to this one, is the same size, or pretty much the same size. This one seems very long, so I didn't expect it to be quite this long, but it will be interesting to see what difference that makes. Probably not a lot. And this one comes with a, what's it called? Like a refill thing, I forgot what it's called. And then I got a little converter from them as well, just so that I can use my own ink, because I love using my own ink. And usually I find that the cartridges that pens that are made for pens, I found them feathering on pages and like bleeding through. It might be just coincidence, but it's nice to have your own ink, being able to have your own ink in a pen. Okay. I'm just trying to decide what to go for next. I guess we'll match the color. So I went for Octopus ink. It's a fountain pen ink. And something tells me that I will be writing, like this converter will be full of this ink, because it's matching color. So very easy to remember what you're painting with or drawing with. So it's Octopus fluids. I never had these inks. When I went to London, I looked like in every shop I went to. Even Cassard didn't seem to have them, but that Cassard I went to was quite small. Yeah, I just love the color, and I reckon it will be good for painting, but also for writing with. It looks very satisfying to use. And then we have something I got, kind of a weird one, but I think I will love this because I like doing mixed media. I'll just show you. Posca Pastel, 24 colors. They were on sale, and it just felt like a no-brainer. I think they worked out like 50p per pastel pencil. So it's wax pastels. They go on quite a lot of different surfaces, like paper, grass, metal, plastic, wood, like anything you can imagine. But also, like, I think on top of other media on paper, they will probably have very good coverage. And you can use them on black paper as well, or toned paper even, which is a big plus. So kind of really exciting, but very like different to all the other supplies I got. Then we have, I also got, so I couldn't get this one in the shop because they were sold out. So I had to resort to Amazon. I got a set of converters for Lamy pens, and I could have either gotten 1 or 3, and it was cheaper to get them in a pack. So any future pens I have from Lamy, I will have a spare. Yeah, nothing crazy. I find converters very boring, to be honest, but they make sure that you can use your pens in a fun way. So boring and not boring at the same time. Next we have Octopus fluids, and this one's a pricey one. I really hope it won't disappoint, but I was for the longest time I was looking for pastel colored inks, and I found these, and I spent ages trying to pick a few colors. At one point I think I had like 5 in my basket, and I just couldn't decide. And I think this one dries waterproof, although I might need to check that. Basically I was hoping for one for line work, but if it doesn't dry waterproof, then for drawing with as well. It's just a really pretty color. I really wanted Grey Fox shade, but they didn't have it. I guess it's either like a limited edition or something. I'm not quite sure why I couldn't find it. It's waterproof ink, so yeah, that's great. It's for writing, sketching and coloring, and this is a German, this one's made in Germany. I assume it's also a German brand. I've seen lots of swatches online, and this one seemed quite nice. All the grey ones seemed really beautiful, and all the blue ones did, but I have lots of blues, so I thought this would be a nice one. By the way, I'll swatch the inks in a minute, and I'll fill the pens with inks in a second. Then I really wanted to try out a rollerball pen. This one's by Jacques Herbin. I probably butchered the name, so I'll just pick one way, and I've seen people pronounce this name very differently online as well. It's got its own converter, which means that I can fill in my own ink. It's like sucking motion, so you put it in your ink bottle and then you refill it. And yeah, I really wanted a rollerball pen that was refillable and didn't require buying plastic refills, because that's, I don't know, it just doesn't sit well with me, but also it kind of constrains you to the same brand and the same refills, so it's very limiting. Also, like, yeah, if I can pick less plastic, that's a no-brainer, I think. And then we have a really exciting ink that I really wanted, because it's a pastel colored one. It seemed to be a very, very nice quality one. We shall see when we test it. It won an award for the ink of the year. It's by Pelikan brand, and it's Edelstein or Edelstein. I don't know. Is that a German? Yeah, Edelstein ink collection, and the color is called Rose Quartz. And the way it looks in the bottle, it looks very green. And I've seen people swatch it, and I know that even though it does look green, it comes on page like pink. And I think it's got a sheen. I can't remember. I've done so much research that I'm not 100% sure. But this will be swatched in a minute, so we shall find out. And then a couple smaller things last. I really wanted to buy a whole pack, but I did some research, and it turned out that I was probably better off just grabbing a couple colors from this range. It's Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolors. It's the iridescent ones, I believe. But these two, I think they will work very nicely together, and I'm really excited to try the red copper, just because I think it will produce really nice effects. And I thought it's a less of a risk if I only try a couple colors. And someone online testing them said that this color was definitely worth it, so that's why I got them. I'd love to know if it's light fast. It says light fastness, but then Permanence A. I'd have to do some research. They're both the same. I'd have to do some research and work out what that means. But it would be lovely if they were light fast, because then we could maybe create some originals for once. I laugh because I always want to, but I never do. It's just scary, you know? I think that's it. So we're going to swatch them quickly. I think I'm just going to get to it. Posca pastels, I don't know if I'll get to. Probably will be posted on Patreon only. We'll see. I'm just going to sit down. What should we start with? Thinking of, do I have a bigger page sketchbook? And I do. It's not the date I started. So we have this Seawhite of Brighton sketchbook I grabbed in London. I think this will be good for swatching like bigger areas. It's good for mixed media. It didn't really do very well with watercolor. This is quite, though it's quite a heavy water used page, and it's not buckled too badly, but when it's wet, you kind of can't draw on top of it, so you have to wait for it to dry. But I think this will be a good one. Am I in shot? I am not, because everything's in the way. I'm going to move this to the side. Okay, I think I'll start with like swatching bigger areas as I would watercolor, just following on from my last video, because that's how I probably will be using a lot of them anyway. Okay, I need a brush and maybe, oh yeah, there it is. I have a lot of really cheap brushes, so yeah, it's hard to keep track. And I need a bit of tissue. By the way, I should have warned you, this video won't be edited much. I just want to make it a bit more organic and not worry so much about editing. I'm not going here for perfection, I'm just sharing, like we're all friends here, I hope. So this one's coral. And it's the Diamine. I hope it's not too noticeable. My partner is walking around upstairs, so you might hear some weird noises, like crunching floor. I know crunching isn't the right word for floor, but I can't think of the right word. So this one's coral. And I can see how it it goes between pink and almost like orange, and I think it's beautiful. It's almost exactly what I was looking for, like in the watered down version. It's really beautiful. I'm really happy with this. Let's go for China Blue first, because it's lighter. It's called China Blue, and it's been described as looking just like the line work on some of the china, the blue line work on some of the china looks. So that's an interesting description. It's very rich, but I reckon when I dilute it with water, it will change slightly. Oh, the bottle is really full. Close this safely. By the way, I don't know if I will always be posting these on my channel. It just happens that you know, I had my birthday and I got this voucher that I bought, and it was Christmas before that I got quite a few supplies. But generally I will be posting things like drawing, like real-time drawing, maybe potentially some tutorials. If you have any ideas for tutorials you'd like to see, give me a shout in the comments, because yeah, it's nice to do that. Yeah, it's alright. It didn't seem to drag on the page as much, but maybe because I waited for it a little bit too long. We'll go for Majestic Blue. Oops, don't need to water yet. This one's very... I think I got this one because it looked like Payne's Grey. When used as you would watercolor. Oh, I see what's happening. These ones sink into the page very, very quickly, so they're probably really fast drying. Are they called? Is it called... I forgot. Not thirsty. I don't know if you know what it's called. It doesn't make sense. I'm not making sense, so that's okay, I'll move on. So this one will be beautiful for skies. This one should be good for like evening skies, or maybe even sky color. So that should be fun. I love blues. And they even go nicely against each other, kind of. Okay. This should be lovely. Interesting. Protected from spilling. Okay. I feel like I made a mess, almost. It's in my hand. Okay, let's try. This one's called Lindgrün. My German accent isn't great, but I'm trying. Lindgrün. Oh, I like it. It's very watery. But it's feathering, so I'm not going to carry on because it's a bit annoying. So this one I imagine is slightly different, but there are kinds of paper on which this should be fine. So maybe I should. Yeah, it's something I really don't like, but I could use it to my advantage if that's the effect I wanted to go for, like drawing mosses, which is what I was doing on these pages. This would actually work quite well. But I believe on Rhodia pen paper, and I didn't really show it last time, but I was testing this acrylic ink that bleeds on other papers, but it didn't at all bleed on this Rhodia paper. So let's try that here. Yeah, I'll need to be careful which pens I put it in, because actually I do know which pen, what paper I write with it on, because it might be a bit annoying when it feathers. It's a really nice green. It reminds me of spring, and I reckon it will be really nice on onion skin paper as well. Okay, that's this one. And what's next? Next is Octopus Fluids, Violet Raccoon. It's very similar in feathering. I should have left more space on this. That's a shame, because I meant to use it for drawing line work. But that's okay. I can still use it in a fountain pen. I'm using fountain pens more and more, like for doing my it's not morning pages, I do them as evening pages, and things like that, where I just journal and write notes with, so I think that would be a nice one to do it with. I'm glad I didn't get lots more, because yeah, they wouldn't have worked for my purpose. Still, that's a very lovely color. Okay, and we have Edelstein. Is it Edelstein? Edelstein. Don't know. This is testing me. It's the rose quartz. And I kind of really wanted it in combination with like the green and maybe the blue, the lighter blue. Potentially. I'm still learning about what colors go well together, but sometimes it's good to break the rules as well. So yeah, I'm just, yeah, it's feathering. Is it that the inks that have more like more watery substance composition? I don't know. Do they bleed more? Not bleed, feather more? I don't know. Maybe it's just this paper, so maybe I should try it in this sketchbook. It didn't occur to me earlier. I have two Art Creations sketchbooks, and one of them is pure white paper, and the other is, let me just make sure I don't show you my address, email address and stuff. The other one is the cream papered one, so it would be good to compare both. Let's see how it behaves. Ooh, that's really nice. Really lovely color. I should probably mention this washi is by me. This is empty, so it's like a branded shop one. This one's by an artist that I'll pop on the screen because I forgot the name right now. And this one's by Rahilu. This is a lovely ink. I think it's just the paper that was losing it on. Although, this is kind of weird. Let's try it again. Interesting. It doesn't bleed, which is good. I really love it. I can imagine drawing with this a lot. It's a beautiful ink. It's got like, is it called separation? It turns into like purplish. Yeah, it's got just a lot of depth to it, which I love, especially on this one, on this stock. It kind of, you know, like Ecoline markers sometimes leave those weird like dots on the paper. It does the same thing, but I've seen people use it to their advantage as well, so that would be something to just experiment with and see how that works out. The stickers I should have mentioned are by Sophie McPike, a lovely artist and a human being, and this one is also by her. Okay, I think I will put some ink into my pens and then we can try the paints, maybe, if there's time. It's getting slightly long now, but we should be fine. So this one came with a cartridge, but I think I'll save the cartridge for another time because I wanted... So this is a blue one. The blue one is usually a nice one. But what we want is this. It's a bit smaller, but I did some research and it said that it was the correct size. Yeah, that's good. It's definitely good. I wonder... Okay. They're usually self-explanatory. I wonder if I should also mix the inks, because sometimes they have like particles in them that need to be mixed. And I will move this aside. And let this one dry. Let's get to refilling. And for that, oh no, maybe I shouldn't have mixed it, because now I have some ink in this. So it's like a syringe where you pull to fill it up. I've got ink everywhere. That's okay. Okay. Dried it off, just so it doesn't make a lot of mess in the pen. And then you can see why it's so small. The converter is so small because it needs to fit into this tiny pen, which makes sense. Let me just make sure I secured it right. I forgot to wash off sometimes there's a bit of residue on them. I'm not sure if it's like to protect, but I reckon I can probably... This is slightly wet, so it should probably do the job. If it doesn't, I can always open it up again and wash it. But I reckon we can probably... Let's move this. We can probably, before I test this, let me just swatch it again, because this paper is handling it a lot better. So it just goes to show sometimes it's good to experiment. This is very nice. Oh, I thought I added water, not ink, but hey. So I'm leaving like puddles on purpose just to see how that reacts. And I meant to add a little bit more water just to see the effect. Okay. This sometimes takes a little while. Wow, that was immediate. Sometimes it takes a little while for the ink to start flowing. But this took no time at all. Maybe because I was using the tissue as well, so it kind of helped it. I think I know now why people say that some pens are dry, and I don't know, or some inks or pens, and that might be what it means when you write and it feels like there's not enough ink coming through. But it could be that, oh no, there is a lot. I think it's just the combination of color and how thin the nib is. But it could be really nice to add like small details and things like that. I might use it with a different ink for writing, just because it's a bit too light. But I'm loving what it's doing with water, and when you add watercolor, this is beautiful texture. So this is really fun. Maybe potentially won't be used with the ink of matching color. We'll see. Okay. Well, I'll also test the inks with this, maybe a couple. Okay. So this one also came with a cartridge by Lamy, and these are really sizable compared to Kaweco. Really big. I'm just going to submerge it in water for a second and make sure that it's all nice and... This is normal with nibs. They often come covered in something to like protect them or something like that. I'm not quite sure why. But it's good to wash them with soapy water. So after recording this, I might do that. But for now, I'm going to pick an ink, and I was thinking of this one. And I won't be mixing it up because it's a bit much. Okay, so this one goes turning. it turns and turns and turns until you can start pulling the ink in. And a good thing about these, and a really fun thing about these, is you can empty them and replace the ink whenever you want. Like, that's how easy they are to refill. Another bonus of having a converter. I think it's supposed to go into the gaps. Nope, the gaps don't like it. Okay. That's firmly in. You can close it up. It's got a little window, but I can't really see much through it, even to the light, so not sure if that's functional or not. Okay, it's already flowing. Oh, I love what it does. I think because this nib is a bit thicker, wider, it when I write, I can see different shades of the pink, which is really lovely. Might take a bit of getting used to, because they're all different brands, and this one feels very plasticky. Not that it's a bad thing, it's very light and so on, but it might get a bit of getting used to. And yeah, you can make like solid blocks of color with this. You can use it with a brush, like so, which I think is my favorite look. Or you can use it for writing. I can never write the Q nicely. Oops. It's a really nice pen. In comparison, this is very dark. It's almost black. I think it's blue black by Quink, and this is a nib size of like medium, so the one I was using before, which I've misplaced, Kaweco, was the same size. But bearing in mind, this is almost black ink, so it would naturally be much more strong looking. I just love drawing with this, but the more delicate look is also great. So I reckon this pen with the black ink might do wonders as well, which will be interesting. Let's try this. Another refill. I think they're matching the same. And this one's the same size nib as those Kaweco and Twisby Echo. Let's watch this. Just give it I'm giving it a good wipe. I definitely don't think I'm doing it the right way right now. This is just for the sake of being able to show you. What should we go for this? I think maybe Majestic Blue. I was thinking to do line work with this one. So I'll need, this is a Lamy, isn't it? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's Lamy, yeah. I think my ink is out of shot, so you can see what I'm doing. This is me using the converters for the first time in my life. But they seem pretty straightforward, to be honest. Am I supposed to like get rid of the air bubble? Probably not, because as you write, like you get air in there anyway. Right? Oh no, maybe it sucks in there. Oh, I can't explain it. It's late, can you tell? I also just realized that I've lost my brush and that I can swatch it here because it might do much better here on this sketchbook, on this paper. And it looks like it does better. It's not as smooth looking as the other ones, but still pretty good. Okay, just drying it off a bit. And let's go for it. Seems to be firmly in place. This one's I've been doing a lot of lettering recently, so it's nice to be trying all of these things out. Oops, that went a bit too far. And this one's Violet Raccoon. There's a bit of dust on. I think it does pretty well. I'm not the best at labeling my swatches, so this one's completely different. Violet. Definitely does much better on like paper dedicated for fountain pens when you write with it compared to just regular paper. That makes sense. That feels very nice. And this one was rose quartz, I believe. I should probably write that down. Yeah, I love a good stubby nib. Yeah. Ooh, interesting. Very pink compared to here, where it was more purplish or violet. Interesting. Okay. And then we have Harbin rollerball pen. Let me see how much time. Oh yeah. I think I'll leave that. One, it's getting really light here, but also I think this video is also getting long. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, let me know. If you want to see swatching of the Posca pastels, tune in to Patreon. I will post it at some point. I don't know when, so no promises. And I hope you found this useful and enjoyed looking at the different how paper affects inks, especially when you use them kind of more towards like watercolor application, and like how different the paper makes the ink look. And as we found out, Seawhite of Brighton, it's all media cartridge paper, which does really beautifully with mixed media and so on. I used it quite a lot. Not so well with some of the inks, while like the Diamine were really lovely. So yeah, it just depends on like the stock you use. And obviously I'm breaking the rules here. They're fountain pen inks. So yeah, they're very different. Oops. Sorry. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you like these kinds of videos where I'm swatching things, talking about things, trying out new materials, new techniques, doing sketchbook tours, tune in, because I do a lot of that. Also, you can check out my existing videos. I've got quite a few now. There's occasional comics, sharing my comics, but usually they're more kind of traditional art focused, experimenting and drawing. Sometimes I do a draw with me and so on. Haven't done a vlog yet, and I don't know if I will, to be honest. But yeah, if you enjoy this, give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel to get more videos and content from me. And I will be doing a sketchbook tour very soon, as I just almost finished two different sketchbooks. Have a lovely day, artsing, and until next time. And I'll leave all the links down below so that you can check out my Patreon and all that. And yeah, have a lovely day, artsing. Until next time. Bye.